I greet you in Jesus' precious name. It is Sunday morning, the 5th of January, 2025, and this is your friend, Angus Buchen, with a thought for the day. We go to the Gospel of Mark, chapter 16, and I'm reading part of verse 18. They will lay hands on the sick, and they will recover. Can you imagine the hands of Jesus being laid upon you, my dear friend, to take away all your sickness, all your pain, all your suffering, all your fear, all your anxiety, those beautiful, beautiful hands. Of course, you know, they will have a hole through them. They have been pierced by nails when the Lord was nailed to the cross for our sins. But what beautiful hands. Early this morning, I was repairing a fence at the back of our garden. And because I'm a preacher now and not a farmer, I must confess, my hands are very soft. I was quite embarrassed. And I just remember my dear old dad. Man, he had hands like you can't believe. You know, he was a blacksmith, and he used tongs and 14-pound hammers, standing next to that fiery furnace and heating up that steel and banging it. He had the most incredibly powerful hands. And yet they were so gentle. I never once saw him try to break a man's hand. He would shake your hand, and it was like it was in a vice. It was firm. It was secure. Hands. Hands are so important. I remember one day going to, I think it was the chemist shop, and I was paying for something, and I said to the lady, look at my hands. I said, I've got hands like a woman now, and I don't farm actively anymore. She looked at me and she said, don't insult women's hands. Now when I speak to farmers, I have to put my hands in my pockets, because when they see those hands, they'll say those aren't a farmer's hands. But, you know, on a serious note, the Lord tells us to lay our hands upon the sick and to pray healing over them. You know, to get a touch from the Lord is so beautiful and so precious. I love to stop and pray for somebody in the street, and I'll put my hand on their shoulder. And sometimes I don't even pray and they start to weep. It's the love of Christ in us that people need to experience. So it doesn't matter whether your hands are strong or soft. I mean, I think of the hands of that incredible neurosurgeon, Dr. Carson, who had the gift of separating Siamese twins. One operation taking something like 48 hours. Those are hands of compassion and hands that are strong. Remember, folks, people love a handshake. They love a hug. And it doesn't matter whether your hands are rough or whether they're smooth. Make sure they're always clean. My dad had the cleanest hands of a man I've ever seen. He made sure that when he went out, his hands were clean. They might be rough and gnarled, but clean, and most of all, filled with the love of Jesus. Have a blessed day. God bless you and goodbye.